Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to our channel. Today we are taking you to one of the famous chateaus in Ile-de-France region, Château de Sceaux. So, on y va?
Today we find ourselves in Domaine de Sceaux, a magnificent estate south of Paris comprised of a beautiful 19th century chateau, orangerie, and a gorgeous park that acquired famous amongst the tourists and locals for its cherry blossom trees.
We have come here precisely to catch the cherry blossom trees, as it has been on our to-do list since we started this channel, and we haven't quite managed to film them until now.
Now we are on the way to the chateau. We just arrived here by the park and it will take us probably 5-10 minutes to arrive to chateau. So, let's go.
We're taking you to Le Musée du Domaine départemental de Sceaux, the name of the museum hosted inside the chateau itself. The first mention of Sceaux dates back to 1120, and while the area took some time to develop, we will fast forward to the 17th century today, and precisely to the year 1670.
It was in that year that Jean-Baptiste Colbert, intendant of Louis XIV's finances, became the owner of the first chateau, built in 1597. With it, he purchased a lot of land that surrounded it and brought André Le Nôtre to work on the garden.
Le Nôtre was pretty much the main garden designer of the time, creating every park and green space of the main chateau in the region, including Versailles, Fontainebleau, and Vaux-le-Vicomte.
Colbert's son, Marquis de Sceaux, took over the domain in 1683 and had the Grand Canal as well as Orangerie built.
Just 7 years later, Marquis died, and by 1700 the domain was sold to the Duc de Maine, son of Louis XIV and Madame de Montespan. His spouse, la Duchesse de Maine, started the literary court of which Voltaire took part. From there, the famous Knights of Sceaux came to be.
With the French Revolution came the Great Change. The domain was confiscated in 1793 and then converted into an agriculture school.
Shortly after, the domain was put up for sale and was obtained by Lecomte in 1798. He was a trader who completely razed the original chateau and the menagerie pavilion by 1803.
Hang on, so what is this building we are in?
Well, it was thanks to the Duc de Trévise, who purchased the domain, that this building exists. It was due to the work of Joseph Michel Le Souffachet that a new chateau found its home here in 1856. The park was restored and built according to the original plan of Le Nôtre at the same time.
With the opening of the first railway linking Sceaux to Paris, many influential figures bought properties in the city, including the Nobel Prize couple Marie and Pierre Curie, who lived and were buried in Sceaux until they transferred to Pantheon in 1995. You can see their final resting place in our Pantheon episode.
By 1923, the domain was put up for sale and was saved by then Mayor Jean-Baptiste Bergeret de Frouville, who got the Seine department to purchase the property.
In 1937, a museum dedicated to Ile-de-France was created, to be renamed to Musée du Domaine départemental de Sceaux in 2015. Now dedicated to different owners of the domain, and more generally to the French taste of Louis XIV to Napoleon III. It preserves a remarkable collection of paintings, precious furniture, and art objects.
In September 2020, the museum was reopened after grand works, culminating in what we see today.
Each room was completely renovated, allowing the chateau to regain its splendor and beauty. This chateau takes you on a journey through the centuries worth of history of the ownership of the domain, showcasing the multitude of styles layered on top of each other to tell their own story.
As always, I got the coffee, Sinan got hot chocolate, and we got chocolat gaufre, so like a waffle with the chocolate.
We will check out the garden right behind us. It's a huge garden. It's a nice cafeteria here. So many people around, but up until now I'm having a good time so far. Yeah, it's so good so far. People come here normally to see the cherry blossoms. This is the season at the moment. We will check that out. But at the same time, if you are coming here, you should be also visiting the chateau. It doesn't take you so much time to see the full chateau. It's a very small chateau, but I'm sure you will be enjoying that. Most of the furniture are from Louis XIV time until Napoleon III.
By hiring Le Nôtre as the project manager, Colbert assured the grand imposing design for his new domain.
4 centuries later, and the major axes drawn by Le Nôtre still dictate the landscape.
Sometimes I just wonder how much of value André Le Nôtre gave or left behind him with all these beautiful French gardens. It's just incredible, and everywhere you go, everywhere notable and beautiful you go, you will see his gardens. We're going now to check out the Cascades. Hopefully we're going in the right direction because it's a huge park. So let's see. There are multitudes of valleys, waterfalls, the octagon, the Grand Canal, and they all create a structured, controlled dance around the small chateau.
Indeed, proportions may seem slightly off between the chateau and the park itself, but remember, the latter was designed around the bigger building that first stood here.
So behind me, this beautiful green corridor of poplar trees. When I was a kid, this is the tree that was everywhere when I was growing up. And I absolutely love it. It was my favorite tree because it's so tall. We used to climb up these trees, and most often is when I would climb up and be so afraid to climb down because it's so high up. But these are one of my favorite type of trees. We're still looking for the cherry blossoms. Hopefully we will find them because it's starting to get on my nerves. It's been more than an hour we've been trying to find it and we can't find it. We're looking for them. Hopefully we'll find them now. It's not that pink, is it? Well, because even though it's the season, okay, we've had really bad weather this whole week. We even had hail for 2 days straight. So I think the hail just beat it up and the flowers are mostly gone. There are 3 areas with this cherry blossom trees, 3 different kinds. There's the dark pink one, and there is like in the middle, and then there are white ones as well. Hopefully we will catch the ones that are a little bit more still with the flowers, fluffy. But yeah, this gives you an idea that you just imagine that all of this was pink maybe a week ago. And we didn't miss the season. It's actually exactly the time. But we had really bad rain. We had really bad rain, like 3 days straight. We had hail. Even my personal garden, like my avocado tree, lost some leaves as well. Yeah. Voila. So it seems that we found other cherry blossom trees. This section is in white color because these trees have the white flowers, and it seems that they have survived the rain. I really love the idea of the I don't even know how to describe it. It's basically the trees with well wishes, or wishes in general. So people just left pieces of, fabric, and they wrote their wishes. Majority of wishes are really nice. I'm just glad that we found trees that are in full bloom and the flowers are still on them. It's beautiful here. I love it. And the white color on the trees makes you feel like it's colder, as if there is snow. It's just gorgeous. Love it. The park is so big, we think you'd need a full day just to cover that without going into the museum itself. And by the way, the park is free of charge, hence the hundreds of locals strolling and running around. So we finally found the Cascades or Cascade, but this is not the original one. This is actually a reconstructed one because the original one was destroyed during the revolution, but this one was built in 1930s. Now we're gonna try and find the way out of this huge garden that we absolutely love. We think this is one of the best gardens in the country. It is absolutely stunning.
As we finish our visit, having spent over 4 hours here, our feet may be tired, but our hearts and minds are definitely happy, having spent a gorgeous afternoon in a place that is filled with beauty created by nature and humans. This is a must visit on your trip to Paris.
So thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think of this place. Until the next one, au revoir.